because if you were to take unity and you were to take unity to its extreme, unity which is about sameness, unity which is about togetherness, unity which is about what is keeping it together, if taken to its extreme expression, can become conformity, where we're all unified around something, we're all like together in something, we're all doing this. It can become a box that then becomes conformity that then gets focused or overemphasized around one particular perspective. And it's easy for it to go there if we're not cognizant of it. Diversity, on the other hand, is about all the things that are different. Diversity is about this and that and what's unique and all of these things. And diversity is also great. If taken to its extreme, though, it can then just become chaos, where there is no process, where there is no connection, where there is nothing. It's just about, oh, this random, this random, this random, and it becomes a whole lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily move us forward. And so we look at those two and bring them to to the middle where they can integrate effectively, and we're looking at how do we bring together all of the unique and diverse practices that we can then get the greatest outcome from and create a focus and a purpose of movement forward, and always being able to toggle back and forth between those two things. A really easy, that's sort of an ethereal perspective, but if we were to just ground that in what does that look like in fitness, like in physical training, just look at the tools that we use. We use a whole bunch of different kinds of tools, but we use them as a means to create this to be more complete, to have better awareness, better connection, and the ability to integrate with anything at any given time. So we can look at, if I work with the barbell and I'm doing overhead pressing with the barbell, but I'm having a hard time getting up because I've got some shoulder stuff going on. Maybe continuing to do it in that configuration isn't allowing me to connect with my body in a different way and start attending to whatever the weak links are. So then I can go, all right, doesn't mean I can never do that, but maybe I then go with a kettlebell and I start working overhead pressing with a kettlebell where I can go lighter weight. I can focus on one arm at a time to see where the differentiation is and all of those things. And then as that gets stronger, that helps strengthen the chain, and then I can come back and it helps me improve my barbell overhead press. So it's not about doing one tool or the other, it's about how can we use the different tools to better integrate this so that I can engage with any of them, depending on what my goals are, depending on what the context is. So unity and diversity, principle number one. Number two is search for truth. And when we say search for truth, we're talking about searching for truth, not searching for the truth. The truth. And by the truth, I just mean to the exclusion of truth being present in many things. There's universal truth that is present in all kinds of different, in the realm of fitness, different systems. You can have a system over here and you can have a system over here too, and they can seem on the surface like two polarizing opposites that when they talk with each other, the debate and the argument revolves around why theirs is better and why theirs doesn't work. So they're trying to define what they're doing as the truth, as opposed to search for truth. And that is being able to look over here and go, yes, I recognize the truth in what you are doing. I recognize the value in what you are bringing, and that can get incorporated. Yeah, even though it seems like it's opposite on the surface, I can see the kernels of universal truth in that. I can now see the value of that, and I can integrate that perspective. So search for truth is very important in terms of going, okay, what out of all the things that are out there, what are those principles that do feed into how we train, how we coach, and can be beneficial for people? And so it's figuring out what to use. So if I go back to unity and diversity, it's Unity and diversity is what we use. Search for truth is how we use it. And so being open, we're not the end point. We want to be a springboard for you to continue learning and being able to take in any education from whatever source that you get, and hopefully provide a perspective that allows you to continue to bring it together and integrate it in a way that works for, these guys. But then when I step back and I've got these folks, I may need to adjust how I do it, what I use, because the context is different. So it makes you a stronger coach. If you have a hammer, everything looks like a hell. Yeah. We're not here to make you a hammer. We're here to give you the tool belt. You can put the hammer, the screwdriver, the drill, all the things, the measuring tape, all the things. So, unity and diversity, search for truth. Number 3, balance and harmony. Balance and harmony, when we think of the word balance tends to imply there's an automatic association with holding things in equal measure. So there's this hand has a certain weight in it. To balance that out, I need the same weight on the other side, and that is balance. How many here have only one goal that you want to achieve in your entire life? Okay, that's fair. How many here have only 3 goals? Just 3, nothing else, that you want to achieve in your life? Okay, I think I make my point. Most of us have a gazillion goals. We're all looking at, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And are any of us really content? If we really want to do all those things, are we really content to just be mediocre at it? No, we want to do them all well. But what happens is we can get into a state where, I want to do all those things and I want to do them well, and so I'm trying to attend to all of those, and I'm trying to get greater balance. So balance doesn't hold in trying to hold everything in equal measure and lift it up. There's a reality of the amount of space and time that you need to put into something in order to progress it further. And then being able to step away and okay, let me come back, let me progress this forward, and continue to work that. So that means that there isn't always balance. So we say, but we recognize, we need to be more balanced overall, because many of us aren't. So we talk about balance in harmony. And that is creating a greater degree of harmony between what it is that we're doing and the goals that we want to achieve. Again, a little more ethereal, but bringing it down to practical, if you think about a professional athletes are some of the most unbalanced people we will ever know. Maybe in more ways than one. They'll laugh. But if you think about it, it's because they are unbalanced. That's why they're so good at what they do. Because they have taken themselves to the extreme, the absolute extreme of their potential in that one particular way, that is now why they can perform that particular quality to the nth degree, beyond what any of us who haven't put in that time can do. And it's amazing to behold. Now, we're a longevity and performance system. If we recognize that someone has developed qualities so specifically to a real extreme, we're not going to try and pull them away from that to go, we need you in greater balance because you're starting to get injured. Because when you go that specific, there is a certain adaptation that is happening that doesn't keep us in balance with the rest of our body. And for most, if we think about professional athletes, for most of them, they're just hoping they hang on long enough that they have enough to retire before they break. So we want to look at that and go, I don't want to pull them away from what it is, all the time and energy and work that they've put in, but I want to create greater harmony in the space that they live in. So rather than balance, and that requires them to come back to the middle, it's about, we're going to help you get greater balance, but that's by creating harmony in the space that you're in. So if you have specific adaptations and specialities, awesome. If something's becoming an issue, we're going to help try and expand your circle just a little bit to help address that as well. and expand just a little bit and help and create greater harmony through the whole system. That's the same. That's not just the professional athlete example. That's the same for the everyday person that you're going to interact with. Everybody is where they are. Don't try and necessarily pull them to your ideal. Help them create greater harmony. And as they create greater harmony and balance in their life and their fitness and their bodies through that, they're going to find where they are on the spectrum. We want to help everybody. We want to help all of you continue to do what you love to do better. It's not about we just want you to do what we're doing. Cool? Unity and diversity, search for truth, balance and harmony. And now we move into the final two. And the final two, number four is action is leadership. And this starts to move a little bit beyond just the physical training itself. But action is leadership. And this for us is really important because it's easy to see ourselves in a position where I'm going to be a leader, where I'm going to be the one in the front of the room talking to everybody else, and they're going to be listening to me, and I'm going to get to, to the whole world, and they're going to love me for it. And the thing about that is, yeah, we can absolutely get there and be there, but that we look at it that it starts from action. And the leaders in our community, if you look at any of them, it came from a basis of action. That's what leadership is. It isn't just the one that's in front of the room. That is one of the roles that a leader plays. So we, as leaders, get to serve in this way for all of you. That's a role that we serve in. It doesn't define us as leaders. The action that you take does. And if you take action, everyone else around you is going to see that, both in your personal practice, in how you treat other people, how you train other people. That is what defines leadership for us. And then number 5 is give to empower. And if you think about these principles, they're all leading to this. And we look at give to empower if unity and diversity is what we use. Search for truth is how we use it. Balance and harmony is actually using it. Action is leadership, is using it to help others. Give to empower is another added layer. And give to empower, we're not saying simply give to empower the individual you're working with, which you are, but we want to give to empower that person to also be able to share. Because the opportunity that you have to contribute to someone else's life is massive. That's huge. And it is so informative and so pivotal in our own personal development that we want to be able to give that person the opportunity to do the same, to pay it forward, and in that continue their own growth and development as they go through. So all of this leads to you guys also being able to serve, whether with your friends, your family, in your gym, in your community, as educators, whatever that ends up manifesting for you, that you can give to empower other people to do the same and reach towards what their potential capacity is for. Those are the 5 pillar principles of what we do, and that's what drives everything that we do. So all the choices for what we say and what we teach and all of those, and how we act and who we interact with and how that comes about, comes from these things. So hopefully, maybe there's some of them that you guys resonate with. Maybe there's some of them that you're like, oh, I feel like I'm already doing that. And maybe there's some of them that you're like, oh, I hadn't thought about it in that way.